Scenario. Question 2, 18 marks. A large general insurer specializing in household and motor insurance has seen its solvency capital requirement, SCR coverage ratio drop from 160% to 115% over the last 12 months. The board is concerned that a major catastrophe event could push the company below the 100% regulatory threshold. A. Define technical provisions under the Solvency II framework, explaining the two components that comprise them. 4. B. The company is considering moving from the standard formula to an internal model to calculate its SCR. Discuss the advantages and disadvantages of this transition. 8. C. Suggest 3 management actions the insurer could take to improve its SCR coverage ratio, explaining how each action achieves this. Section 1. What we are analyzing. This question focuses on Pillar 1, quantitative requirements, of Solvency II. We are looking at how a company proves it is solvent, has enough money. 1. Technical provisions. This is the money the company must set aside specifically to pay future claims. It's not just a guess, it's a specific mathematical calculation. 2. Internal model versus standard formula. This is about whether the company uses the regulator's one-size-fits-all math or builds its own custom bespoke calculator to determine how much capital it needs. 3. Capital management. We are looking at emergency levers the board can pull to fix their financial ratio before the regulator, the PRA, steps in. Section 2. Logic and strategy. For A, use the formula, technical provisions equals best estimate plus risk margin. Define best estimate as the mean/probability weighted value, and risk margin as the cost of transferring those liabilities to another firm. For B, think about risk sensitivity. An internal model is more accurate for the company's specific risks, good, but it is incredibly expensive and needs PRA approval, bad. Use the logic that better math usually leads to lower but more accurate capital requirements. 4. C. Use the logic of the solvency ratio equals own funds / SCR. To increase the ratio, you either increase the top number, own funds, or decrease the bottom number, SCR. Examples include raising new shares, top, or buying more reinsurance, bottom. Section 3. Model answer. 80 to 95% master's level QMUL. A. Define technical provisions under the Solvency II framework, explaining the two components that comprise them. 4. Under Solvency II, technical provisions, TPs, represent the current amount the insurer would have to pay to transfer its obligations immediately to another undertaking. They consist of 1. Best estimate, BE. This is the probability-weighted average of future cash flows, claims, expenses and premiums, discounted using the relevant risk-free interest rate term structure. It is a mean estimate, meaning there is an equal probability of overstatement or understatement. 2. Risk margin, RM. This is an additional layer of capital intended to ensure that the TPs are sufficient for a third party to take over the liabilities. It represents the cost of capital required to back the insurance obligations until they are fully run off. B. The company is considering moving from the standard formula to an internal model to calculate its SCR. Discuss the advantages and disadvantages of this transition. 8. The standard formula is a factor-based approach designed for an average risk profile. Moving to an internal model offers several advantages. Risk sensitivity. For a specialized insurer, an internal model more accurately reflects its unique risk profile, e.g., specific geographical concentrations in household insurance, potentially leading to a lower and more efficient SCR. Strategic integration. Developing an internal model encourages a stronger risk culture and is a requirement for a high-quality ORSA, own risk and solvency assessment, as it aligns the regulatory capital more closely with the firm's economic reality. Diversification recognition. Internal models can use copulas to more accurately model dependencies between risks, often identifying greater diversification benefits than the standard formula allows. However, the disadvantages are significant. Cost and complexity. Building, validating, and maintaining an internal model is resource-intensive, requiring specialized actuarial and IT expertise. Regulatory approval. The model must pass the use test and receive formal approval from the Prudential Regulation Authority (PRA), a process that can take years. Model risk. There is a risk of parameter error or model error, where the custom math fails to capture a tail event that the standard formula might have covered through its more conservative generic assumptions. C. Suggests 3 management actions the insurer could take to improve its SCR coverage ratio, explaining how each action achieves this. To improve the coverage ratio, eligible own funds developed SCR, the insurer can implement the following. 1. Increase reinsurance purchase, e.g., quota share. By transferring more risk to a reinsurer, the company reduces its net exposure. This directly lowers the underwriting risk component of the SCR, the denominator, thereby increasing the ratio. 2. De-risking the investment portfolio. The insurer could shift assets from high-volatility equities into fixed-interest gilts. This reduces market risk charges within the SCR, though it may lower long-term expected returns. 3. Issue Tier 1 or Tier 2 capital. The company could issue new ordinary shares, Tier 1, or subordinated debt, Tier 2. This increases the eligible own funds, the numerator. According to the cheat sheet, Tier 1 capital is the highest quality and most effective for solvency purposes, as it is fully loss absorbent.